Stanley to everybody you played, everything you've done with that show. You've become synonymous with that show.
It's kind of weird.
Which
Me
is
and
great.
Evan and Sarah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you first get involved with American Horror Story?
I got a call out of the blue from Ryan Murphy, who I had not heard of at that point, which shame on me. He had done Nip Tuck and Glee, and I kind of knew the idea, but they said he had a new series, and would I be interested in reading it? And I was like, sure. And it was the first episode of Murder House, and I have to admit, I didn't get it. I was like, what? So what am I? What? I have my face burned off? What? But I trusted him, and I liked the idea, and I figured we would go for it. We had no idea where it was going to end up and how it would do, and so I went for it. Went out in LA, spent a lot of time in the makeup chair, having people pull down my face and put a lot of glue on me. But it was great. It was a real adventure. I'm so happy that I got to be part of that.
Have you always been a fan of the horror genre, or is this kind of brought it to the forefront?
I would say no, but I'd be a liar, because when I was, I think 7, I was a vampire for Halloween. When I was 8, I was Frankenstein. When I was 9, I was a werewolf. My favorite book was How to Care for Your Monster. I kind of worship vampires, and I sort of conveniently forgot all that. I don't know why, but I was a real freak for. I was raised on Grimm's fairy tales. That's what I read as a kid, which are completely inappropriate for children, but it's what I read all the time. So yeah, I guess I've always been into vampires and everything. Yeah, always.
I loved Freak Show. That was probably my favorite season, and I thought you were phenomenal at that season.
Stanley.
I thought, yeah, God, it was so good. You were like the standout for me on that season. So I can't wait to see next season. What can we expect from next season? Cult, right?
I can't talk about it. You know, as usual, we can't say anything.
Yeah. Clowns and bees is all we've really seen.
Expect to be grossed out.
Nice.
Expect to do this a lot. Oh! And expect to be scared. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like a plan. And then I have to go watch You and Milk before I go to bed, just to kind of bring me down.
Bring me down.
That,
Or watch The Proposal.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie. It's very, very funny.
Yeah.
I met somebody who said he watched The Proposal every week. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Like, yeah, every week I watch The Proposal. Nice. Makes me feel good.
Like, all right. Got to bring it down before you go to bed, right? So I want to throw some fun questions at you.
Yes.
You ready? First ones. We're at Walker Stalker Con. We got to talk zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse breaks out tomorrow. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Find Negan.
Okay. You're going to be a savior. You're going to be his right-hand man.
I just want to live. I'll get behind him.
All right. If you're going to wield a weapon, what would be your weapon of choice?
My wit. I would baffle them, and I would talk them into circles, and they would go.
Fantastic. Every good, zombie apocalypse badass needs a cool vehicle. Like Daryl has his motorcycle. What would be your zombie apocalypse vehicle of choice?
A sand-colored Pinto.
You're painting a beautiful picture for us right now. I appreciate this. This is great.
Me and my wit and Negan and my sand-colored Pinto.
I smell a spinoff, right? If you could spend a night, hang out, maybe play some pool, have a drink with any character you've ever played, who would you want to hang out with?
None of them.
None of them.
I would probably either Russell Edgington or Liz Taylor. But if it were Russell, it had to be like ground rules, about what could happen in the evening. And if it were Liz, I would make sure she was in a good mood and I didn't get nailed with her sharp tongue.
All right. I got one more round for you. So we're in Tulsa for the first time ever for Walker Stalker Con. So right? Nice. Who wants us to come back? Anybody wants to come back? Yeah. And you're coming with us, Dennis, if you come.
Yes.
Back. So let's talk about firsts. What was your first job ever? Not acting, just in life. What was your first job?
No, I was a paper boy at age 8.
Nice.
In my house, you had to work early. And so I delivered papers in Michigan in the winter, where the sun went down at like 3:30 p.m. in the winter. It was really depressing. I would trudge home from that paper route at like 5 o'clock. It was freezing, it was dark, and I made no money. and we had to collect our own money. I did the Detroit News, and we had to go and knock on the doors to get your money. You go, paper boy, and they would come and they go, oh, can you come back? And it was crazy. It was like $1.80 a week. I remember that was the price, and they stiffed me. My God, I would get like a quarter. It was a bad job. It was a bad job.
I feel like kids don't work that hard anymore.
I mowed lawns. I shoveled driveways. I was a paper boy. I worked at McDonald's. I cleaned toilets at McDonald's. I painted garage doors. I pulled weeds in apartment complexes. I worked in a kitchen in downtown Detroit, the Blue Cross Blue Shield. I had the lousiest jobs. That's all I did my entire life was work lousy jobs. I was a waiter, a bartender. I was a temp. I was a legal temp. And then I became an actor. I mean, I was always an actor, but I finally stopped working other jobs. When I was 30, I stopped working other jobs. Yeah.
What was your first car?
A Fiat 124 Sport. Amazing car. Oh my God.
It's a good first car.
I don't know why we had it. My dad, I'm from Detroit, you couldn't have foreign cars, they would get mad at you. My father, for some reason, had Fiats. One was like a punky little sedan, and then 124 Sport. I don't know what he was thinking. We had 5 kids. We had a station wagon, and then a Fiat 124 Sport. And so I learned to drive on a 5-speed Fiat. That was an amazing car, except they called it Fiat Fix It Again, Tony, because those things were always broken down.
It's great. You have any desire to grab one, to buy one now?
I wanted the Fiat 850. The Fiat 500 is a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love them. I still love them.
What was your first pet?
Dog. We had a dog named Sheba. She was half husky and half German Shepherd. An amazing dog. And we lived on a lake in Michigan, and she lived outside all winter long in her little house because she could take it. And she was a great animal, an amazing animal. Yeah.
It's amazing how you always remember your first pet.
Yeah, you couldn't look at her. She had enough wolf in her that you couldn't look at her, because if you looked at her, she would start to whine and get up and leave the room because it was a challenge.
Wow.
And they didn't like to be challenged. Yeah, she was very touchy that way.
Prepared you for the acting business, I'm sure.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. What do you remember about your first kiss?
I knew you were going to ask
Did
that.
you? Okay. First.
Well, for me, it was the wrong sex. So it was a girl. Sorry. No, Lisa Worster, and she's a harp player, and I thought I was in love with her. And everybody else was kissing, and we hadn't done it yet, and I was like, let's do this. Let's do this. And I remember we went into a closet, and it was like, I was like, that's it? It wasn't magical. Sorry, I had a long process of figuring out why it wasn't magical, but I was in love with her. She was fantastic, but it was in someone's bad suburban basement. I don't know where the parents were. Why weren't I was 13? Where were the parents? Where were the parents? And we were like, yeah, in the washroom or something. Bad linoleum. Yeah. I liked her a lot. She was a great person.
Let's play the harp. Like, what's
the
not to
harp,
like?
Yeah.
What's something that you would like to do for the first time? Something you've never done?
Good Lord. I've done a lot of things. You think about
Bungee
that.
jump, skydive.
No. What would I like to do the first time? I've never surfed. I would like to actually surf. Yes. Yeah, and not die. Surf and survive.
Beautiful. Wow. Dennis, I really appreciate you taking the time to come see me. Everybody, make sure you go say hello, right? And give it up one more time.
Thank
for
you,
Dennis
guys.
O'Hare. Now, before you go, Dennis, right over here in this chair, I have some American Horror Story hats I'd like you to give out. Just choose some people. I got 2 of them. Dave Gabriel.